Hello boyos, Rich Boy J here back in with another video, and this is going to be episode 26 of the Vardos mock build series, and this is the update that I've been waiting for. You guys can see behind me that I have the huge tower. I've been working endlessly on that thing. That's actually why this update is coming out a little bit late. It's not completely done, but it's pretty freaking close, and I really cannot wait to show that thing off to you guys today. It is just massive, as you can probably tell with it sitting behind me, and I am just in awe every time I look at it. But before we dive into all that, I always have to give a very special thanks to this week's live stream donors. You guys make this mock possible, and it means so much to me that you guys are willing to contribute monetarily. So for this week, we had Screamin' Seagull, Tito Colop, Mellow Yellow Jello, Brick City Whips, Tiny Film Productions, Dan6151, Makita Gut, and Fluffy Ducks all contribute. So thanks to all of you wonderful people for doing that. And like I always say, guys, if you want to see the mock early, definitely tune into the live streams. It's a great way for you to, like I said, see the mock early, but then to also just hang out with a bunch of people and talk Star Wars. Also, I do have an important thing to say for the people who have contributed to this mock so far. You guys know that I had basically donation tiers in the mock, and now that the mock is reaching its completion, I need for the people who reach those certain levels to actually send me the sig figs that they're going to want in the mock. So here's the easiest way to do this. If you're in the live streams and you've donated $15 or more, go to my Instagram and send me a direct message and send me the headpiece and hairpiece that you'll want for your sig fig in this mock. Those of you who have donated $50 or more, you can send me a headpiece and hairpiece, and then also a torso and pants within reason. Like, it's really going to be one of those things where if I have it, I'll put it in the mock. Otherwise, I'm not going to try to, stress myself trying to order a bunch of torsos and legs for you guys. But really, if it's a Star Wars torso and legs, I will probably have it. So just let me know, and then I'll let you know if I have it and I can put it in the mock. Otherwise, I'll give you something that is very fitting for you to be in the Boyo Lounge. But it's actually quite important that you guys get this to me, because this week is the week I'll be placing the final orders for the mock. If you have not sent me that information, I will not be able to give you a unique headpiece and hairpiece. I'll give you a shout out, but it'll be just like, I don't know, my custom realization of you. I'll just make you a random figure in the mock. But I'm sure you would like for it to be a little bit more personal. So send me what headpiece and hairpiece you'll want, and then we can work it out from there. But yeah, send me a direct message on Instagram. I hope I hear from all of you who have contributed, because I do want you guys to get the proper credit for being in the mock. And this week's going to be a little bit interesting in terms of that, because I'm thinking that this week is actually going to be the last live stream that I do for Vardos. Now, based on the progress that I got done, this week is actually not going to be the update. Next week is going to, based on the progress that I've done, this episode is actually not going to be the final update as I thought it might be. I'm actually going to push that back to next week. So I'm going to have next week be the final update, and then there will be a full showcase video that will feature the mock in its entirety, just complete, all that good stuff. So you guys basically have less than 2 weeks to see the finished state of this mock, which is very exciting for me because it's been such a long time coming. It's been like half a year that I've been working on this thing, so I'm ready to see it complete and show it off to you guys as well. But like I was saying earlier, I got tons of work done on that big tower right there. I also got a sponsor for the mock, if you guys checked out that video earlier this week. And then also this week I had some custom weapons come in to deck out those modified minifigures, so I'm going to show that off in this video as well. So without further ado, guys, let's jump right into it. Alright, first thing first to talk about the sponsor. If you guys saw the video I posted earlier this week on the awesome Vardos news, you'll know that I have a sponsor for the mock, and that is Firestar Toys. They specialize in making custom accessories for minifigures. I'm specifically going to be using their custom printed arms for this mock, so you can see sent me over a bag with a bunch of different custom printed arms. The white ones are actually for the Stormtroopers, and then those red ones are for my Inferno Squad guys. The reason I got so many of the black and red ones is because I want to have many different pairings of the Inferno Squad people all throughout the mock, just kind of replicating various scenes that they're going to be involved in. So it was necessary to have more than just 3 pairs. I believe they were able to send me over 9 of them. And if you want to see what it looks like on the figure, this is it. You can see that they basically just added in the various sections of the armor with those black lines separating it, and it looks quite nice. I love this so much. I know from now on, moving forward, any mock I do with Stormtroopers, I'll definitely be having this arm printing. So shout out to them for that. And of course, the Inferno Squad arm printing, that is just, it's incredible. They have the logo on their shoulder, got the pockets there, and the little electronic device on the wrist. It's hard for me to get a close enough view and focus, but I hope you guys can really just see how amazing and incredible of a job that they do on these things. I loved this company for quite some time, and I always wanted to use these in a mock, and I figured, why not reach out to them, see if they would be willing to sponsor me, and it worked out in my favor, so I definitely appreciate them for that. Shout out to, I believe, Paul over at Firestar for hooking the channel up with these things, and the cool thing about this is you guys can actually benefit from it too. So if you go over to their website, which I'll include in the description, you can get 10% off of anything on their website with the promo code RichBoy10. So definitely head over there and pick out some cool stuff. It'll make your figures look that much better. The other cool thing that I was able to pick up is I got actually 50 of these E11s from Brick Arms. Brick Arms is not sponsoring this MOC, but they are definitely my preferred weapons dealer when it comes to minifigures. So glad I was able to pick those up. They will be used for all the Stormtroopers and this MOC, which makes me really happy. Initially, I was going to just use like the Lego guns, but I figured, why not go all out? These really weren't that expensive. They were like 50 cents a piece, so it wasn't too bad at all to buy them. But I guess it's kind of crazy to think that, initially the MOC, I was going to be using this old school Stormtrooper. It's not really old school, it's from like 3 years ago. But I was going to be using this guy with a Lego gun, and now I'm using this updated boy with the Brick Arms gun, and I could not be happier with that decision. I figured, this is an Imperial MOC I'm doing, why not go all out and deck my minifigs out? So I think that you guys will certainly appreciate that in the MOC. Now, that being said, let's move over to the main event. Now, honestly, guys, I don't even know how to film this thing because it's so freaking tall, but this is most of the Vardos tower. It's finished in height. All the front details are pretty much finished up. The only thing I have to do is, you'll see, just basically add these columns along the sides where those colorful bricks are still exposed. I still have to do it literally all around the back side of it. But man, this thing took so freaking long to work on. I guess last time you guys saw it, it may have been like right here. So I guess almost tripled the height of it, maybe doubled if you count from the very bottom, but like starting from here, definitely tripled the height of it, which is incredible. Like, it's so tall. I can't even explain to you guys how tall this thing is, but I mean, I'm 6'2", and it is like a foot taller than me while it's on the table, so you guys can work that math out. But yeah, it's huge. It came out great in my opinion, and I'm just so excited to finally have most of this thing built, because I just feel it really just completes the MOC. But this is a good little pulled back view of it. Let me go in a little bit closer and show you guys some of the finer details of it. So you can see that these little columns that kind of come down along the sides basically have them staggered. So maybe like 12 or 14 studs, they'll come out of plate, and it really just kind of represents a gradual slope, and at the very bottom it gets a little bit more steep, then it curves down to those sections. So that was actually not the easiest thing to figure out, because this thing is so big, and these little columns are actually built snot. So before, like, these weren't on here at all. I had to kind of build them out long ways on a table, and then flip them up, place them on the side. I realized when I was building this thing that, like, it's completely hollow on the inside, other than like the wires for the lights and stuff like that. So I mean, if you like push on the sides where it's hinged, they're not static. Like, you can kind of move the hinges around on angles. So it makes it kind of difficult, like, placing a lot of these columns on here. If you push too hard, it'll just like push flat in. So I have to kind of like stick my arm in there and push everything back out to get it the correct shape. So I guess moving forward, I would probably build it in such a way where, as I add on height, I'll also put like a piece on the side. That way I can get my arm down and brace it on one side and then push it in on the other side, because as of now my arm is not long enough to go inside through the top and reach all the way on the bottom and like push the side part in. Hopefully you guys understand exactly what I mean by that. But yeah, I'm just so happy with the way this thing came out. I have a few lights in it. You guys will see it whenever I do the lights off portion of this video. But I actually need to add a few more lights towards the top. I wasn't able to incorporate them because I literally ran out of soldering material. It's kind of annoying. Like, it was the one thing that, I don't know, I figured I had so much of when working on the mock. Then, like, at the very end, like, some of the last lights I have to do, I run out of it. So I basically just have these 2 wires kind of stuck through there right there so they don't fall through inside the tower, because if they do, I'm never getting that out. But yeah, I'm gonna work on those probably sometime this week. Get some more of that soldering material in so I can actually put those lights in there. But my idea is to actually have them shine down in through there, and they'll illuminate both this and this. Now on the actual tower, there does not exist a light right here. These are just kind of glowing. But I didn't really want to use transparent parts for both of those. I don't know, I like the aesthetic of the the half circle tiles right there. So I decided to use those and then just have kind of light shining on it to give it a glowing effect. And that's what I did, or that's what I'm planning to do up there. And then it'll actually be done alongside here. So you can see I have some holes there that there's actually some lights wired in. It's not the best amount of light. It's just like a little LED. But I think it shines enough on it. And I also think whenever I get like the columns coming out of here, it'll kind of reflect off of it and just give it, I don't know, a better look, a better glow in that area. So once I get those on, I'll get a much better idea of what it'll look like. But you guys will see all of that whenever the lights turn off on this thing. So as I mentioned earlier, I didn't want the wires to fall inside the tower. And that's actually because there's no roof on it. Let's see if I can even get this camera angle. You can see all the way down in there, and I actually need to be careful so I don't drop my camera in there, because that would probably be the worst possible thing that would happen in this mock. There's literally no way for me to get anything out of this tower that I drop in there, so I would have to break it down. But yeah, I decided not to put a roof on it just because, for one, it's so tall. Like, no person of reasonable height would be able to look inside there, so it doesn't really bug me too much. And also, it just wasn't really worth the effort. Like, no one's ever going to see the top of that thing, so why even bother trying to put a roof on it? I really just wanted to get this thing built up and finished up, and I was literally on some of my last bricks just trying to get it finished, so it was really a miracle that it even came together like this. I'm probably going to have to buy some more light gray bricks to do the side columns on these, but that is not an issue. We have those at my local store, so I will have no huge problem picking those up. But man, this thing is just incredible. It's kind of disappointing that this will never go to a convention, but also nice because I literally have no idea how I would transport this to a convention. Like, it is not built modularly at all. It does not come apart in sections. Building this in sections would actually have really added a lot to the amount of work and effort that I had to put into designing this thing. So I'm glad I did not have to do that. I'm just glad I was able to build it where I can just sit here, I can do a video on it, and then I'll take it down. So that actually was not the worst thing in the world. One of the details that I was actually quite proud of is actually these little arrows right here. I wasn't really sure how I was going to do those details when I was first starting the mock, but I think it came out pretty well. I think it was look pretty nice up there. It's a nice bright red color to kind of contrast with the dark red and then the trans ray. There's a lot of red on this tower, I just realized. And then of course, we got some of those Imperial lights up there as well, and those kind of go all the way down throughout the mock. On the actual tower in the video game, those would actually go literally all around the back of the tower. But since this mock is built in such a way where literally this tower is in a corner, and I'm not going to spend much time filming from over there looking at the mock, I just thought, you know, why go through the trouble of trying to put all those lights in there all the way around the thing? I'll just do the front of it, because that's what most people are going to see. And, you know, I didn't want to do anything super crazy and unnecessary. Like, trust me, I have no problem with, you know, going out of my way to get some good details in the mock. But at a certain point, it's just like, you know, is this really worth my time and money? And at this point, like I said, I do just want to just get this mock finished up. So, all in all, guys, this is what I got for you. This is one of those weeks where I literally just worked on one thing, and I mean, I'd say it's certainly worth it, because this tower is, one, insanely huge, and two, it is just the most important part of the mock. Like, it's the most iconic part of Vardos, and it's finally sitting there. It's not finished, but it's pretty close. I particularly love these kind of drawn back shots of it, just because you can really get a look at that like gradual slope on those pillars going down. I'm actually quite proud of how that came out. So man, I just can't wait to get this thing finished up. Once I finish recording this, I'm literally just going to jump right back in and work on this thing and hopefully get the more of those side pillars built up so it can, look mostly complete from the front. I know the back I'll have to buy some more parts for. This is what I got for you guys. Of course, I'm going to end off the video showing you the lights on the tower. So let's actually jump into that right now. And look at that view. Wow, this is literally like looking out of a window onto a very technologically advanced city, and I could not be more proud of the way this MOC came out. So obvious big change with the lights is that giant tower in the back, so we can go get a closer look at it and I can show you guys some of the things I talked about earlier. But some of the lights you've already seen, these bottom trans red sections are very glowy, ominous looking, very cool. Right here is probably the most important light because there's supposed to be like an Imperial logo right here. Still need to figure out how I'm going to do that. It's a white logo, so I'm going to have to like print out a stencil of it and then like cut out the innards and tape it on there maybe. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, then up top we got more of those lights that shine on those Imperial lights. You guys can actually see exactly what I meant by that. So like I said, it shines right in the middle, so it's not ideal, but I'm thinking once there's like a little pillar right here, you see it'll actually kind of reflect back on that white light. So I think that it may actually work out pretty well. So we'll see how that goes. And then the funny thing, I was looking up and I realized, wow, that's really bright. Like, is that light coming from the inside of the tower? Because there's actually quite a few of lights. I was like, did I actually like point a light up? And then I realized it's actually just these two lights shining all the way up onto the ceiling. I don't know. I thought that was kind of a funny thing, just how bright that ended up being. But man, this thing is so freaking cool. Getting camera shots of this is actually going to be kind of difficult just because of how tall it is. Like, I can't even... It's going to be difficult to get the entire thing in one photo. I'll definitely try my best to figure it out, though. But man, just look at how cool and ominous looking this thing is. I know on the map, one of the coolest things about it is, no matter where you are, you can kind of see the tower looming in the background. And I think I certainly accomplished that with this. Like, no matter where you are, you can see that giant tower. Oh my god, that is incredible. Let me know in the comment section how you guys feel about that tower. I, for one, I'm loving it. Like, this is so just cool. It's huge. It looks awesome. And it really does complete the MOC. This MOC is unlike anything I've ever done before. So that's really all I got to show you guys this week. We can go ahead and move to the end of the video. And that's going to finish up the video this week, guys. I hope that you enjoyed the progress that I got done. I, for one, am very happy with that big tower sitting back there. I've been literally just waiting this whole series to do an update with a giant tower sitting behind me, and it's finally happened. So I'm super stoked about that. Moving forward this week, I got quite a bit of things to do. I really need to just clean up the MOC. There's like parts all over. I need to clean a few things up. This week, I'm probably going to finally convert that AT-AT from the First Order version to the Imperial version. I'm going to finally lay down some of the tiles to complete a lot of the areas that are still studded, and then of course add the border around the back of the MOC, among a few other things. And that's really going to finish things up this week, guys. It's really crazy to think that like next week is going to be the last time I'm doing this, so I'm trying to really get a lot of work done and just trying to finish this thing up so I have a good polished final product to show for you guys. You guys know with the Crate MOC and the Scarif MOC, there was like a convention that I had to take it to, so I was like on a strict time schedule and I had to have it done for the convention, which really disallowed us to do a lot of things that we wanted to add into the MOC. With this MOC, that was not the case. I had no real timetable. I had like a vague idea. The goal was to have it done in January. Obviously, we were way past that, which is totally fine. I don't mind that at all because I've been having fun working on this MOC and I think that you guys have been enjoying it as well. But with that being said, like now that it's time to finish it up, I'm glad that I can really polish it and do justice to one of my favorite locations in all of Star Wars. So like I always say, guys, if you like what I do, go ahead, support the video by hitting the like button, support the channel by smashing that subscribe button, and I'll be back again very soon.